This is KVUE News Daybreak.
President Trump orders a military strike against Syria. I'm ABC's Lana Zach in Washington with the very latest details coming up.
And another terminal is opening up this weekend. How this could impact you the next time you have to fly out.
Assad choked out the lives of helpless men, women, and children. Even beautiful babies were cruelly murdered. Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria.
Waking up this morning, you may have missed this. Last night, President Trump ordered an attack on Syria. A destroyer in the Mediterranean Sea fired nearly 60 missiles at an airfield. Intelligence officials say it's from that airfield where planes took off and dumped toxic sarin gas on civilians. Dozens died, including young children. The Syrian government is being blamed for attacking its own citizens. And the U.S. has taken action against the regime of Syrian President Bashar Assad. President Donald Trump ordering those airstrikes against Syria just days after the regime there allegedly used chemical weapons on its own people, as we mentioned. American Tomahawk cruise missiles took out the airbase used by Syrian warplanes for Tuesday's chemical weapons attack. ABC's Lana Zach is in Washington with the latest on the strike and congressional reaction.
From two American destroyers in the Mediterranean, the U.S. launched 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles at Syria.
Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched.
The president at his Mar-a-Lago resort urged the international community to denounce Syrian President Bashar al-Assad for his suspected use of sarin gas against his own people.
Even beautiful babies were cruelly murdered in this very barbaric attack. No child of God should ever suffer such horror.
More than 80 were killed, mostly women and children, in brutal, horrific deaths. But Russia is decrying U.S.'s action. A spokesman for Russian President Vladimir Putin said he regards the strikes as aggression against a sovereign nation in violation of international law. U.S. lawmakers are responding as well. Many are praising the president's actions, but others say Congress should have been consulted. Republican Senator Rand Paul tweeted, "While we all condemn the atrocities in Syria, the United States was not attacked." And Democratic Senator Tim Kaine called the president's failure to consult Congress unlawful. For the new president, it's a reversal of his previous positions, but it's also a message to the international community.
The larger statement, again, is that Assad needs to stop the chemical attacks against his people.
And the big question now is what comes next. This was believed to be a one-time surgical action, more symbolic than actually crippling to Assad. Any further involvement is likely to require congressional approval, as well as consultations with other countries. Particularly important will be Russia and China. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
And U.S. Senator Ted Cruz responding to the missile strikes in Syria. He released a statement last night saying in part, quote, "Our prayers are with Assad's victims and with the victims of ISIS and al-Qaeda terrorists ripping Syria apart. Any military action in Syria must be justified as protecting the vital national security interests of America. I look forward to our Commander-in-Chief making the case to Congress and the American people how we should do so in the days ahead." He also gave praise to all that helped carry out the military strike. The latest chemical attack in Syria is far from the first. Here's a look at exactly what led up to U.S.'s decision to launch missile strikes on the Syrian regime of Bashar Assad. Back in April of 2011, the U.S. put sanctions on Syria's intelligence agency in response to the regime's crackdown on protesters during the democratic uprisings. Then in August of 2011, former President Barack Obama, along with other foreign leaders, called for Assad to step down. 1 year later, Mr. Obama told Assad the use of chemical weapons is unacceptable and there will be consequences if they're used. Then in 2013, Mr. Obama says he has authorized the use of force against Syria. U.S. intelligence officials said Assad used chemical weapons that killed dozens of people in northern Syria and hundreds more near Damascus. In 2014, the U.S. launched its first airstrikes against ISIS forces in Syria, and in April of 2015, Mr. Obama authorized the deployment of U.S. military advisors into Syria to combat ISIS. February of this year, Russia and China vetoed a UN Security Council resolution authorizing sanctions against Syria for chemical weapons use. And fast forward to this week, that attack on a rebel-held city in northern Syria killed at least 86 people, 27 of them children. The decision to launch airstrikes against the regime of Syrian leader Bashar Assad represents a 180-degree change for President Trump. Less than 4 years ago, Trump was strongly opposed to intervention in Syria over Assad's use of chemical weapons. And in a tweet from 2013, Mr. Trump said, quote, "If Obama attacks Syria and innocent civilians are hurt and killed, he and the U.S. will look very bad." He also tweeted, "The president must get congressional approval before attacking Syria. Big mistake if he does not." After the chemical attack that killed dozens of people, he has had a change of heart.
That attack on children yesterday had a big impact on me. My attitude toward Syria and Assad has changed very much. These heinous actions by the Assad regime cannot be tolerated.
Well, the attack on Syria has caused oil prices to surge this morning, and that's according to GasBuddy, which is a tech company that tracks oil prices for consumers. Oil has risen by $1 per barrel after the news on last night's missile attack, now raising the price to almost $53 per barrel. GasBuddy officials say while this does not have a major impact to North American gas prices at the moment, that could change as time goes on. And coming up at 6 a.m., Associate Professor of Government Roy Casagranda with Austin Community College will be joining us to talk about the situation in Syria. Austin police are cracking down on synthetic drugs because hundreds of people are getting sick every month. Police say they're targeting the dealers who they say prey on the most vulnerable in our community, the homeless. KVUE's Amber Downing spoke to several users about why people are still doing this drug despite the danger.
Hanging out just off of 6th and a block from the Arch Resource Center for the homeless, this couple told me they were smoking synthetic drugs at that very moment.
It does make you pass out, but that's because you're dehydrated.
As we sat there, another self-proclaimed user came up to us. She told us her name is Ashley and agreed to let us interview her.
When I'm high, I feel it's like a feeling like no other. It's more potent than weed. It gives you the same high of weed, but also a heroin effect too.
But the withdrawals are torture.
They can develop heroin-type withdrawal.
Many end up in the hospital, either while high or withdrawing. That's what Austin Police, Austin Travis County EMS, and Austin Public Health Department want to stop. They say they're not targeting people like Ashley, they're going for the dealers.
We're going to be finding these dealers wherever they choose to hide. Wherever hole they are at, we are going to find them.
The punishment for dealing synthetic drugs is 5 to 99 years. Police are stepping up enforcement downtown, using spotters and halo cameras to find dealers. Take a look at this map. Austin Travis County EMS keep track of how many synthetic drug calls they get. It's focused mainly downtown, near the homeless population, putting a burden on certain hospitals.
If you look at the cost of this drug, we're literally talking $5. This is targeting people that don't have the means.
Synthetic drugs killing and injuring our homeless population and putting a strain on first responders. Amber Downing, KVUE News, Daybreak.
And for months, the KVUE defenders have been looking extensively at the impact of synthetic drugs and the ones that they're having here on Austin, that impact. We're working on a full investigation to answer all of your questions. Check out the Defenders in Progress update on our Facebook page, and you can chime in with what you want to know. Right now, police across the state need your help finding 2 abducted infants who are believed to be in grave danger. Take a look here at your screen. These 2 kids were last seen yesterday near Lake Jackson. On the left, Dominic Smith, who is just over a year old, and on your right, 6-month-old Daniel Smith. Both kids are under 3 feet tall, obviously 30 to 45 pounds. Both have brown hair and blue eyes. And police say this man and woman kidnapped the 2 boys. Ryan Smith is 26 years old, weighs about 120 pounds, police say. And to your right, you see 20-year-old Ashley Smith. She weighs about 150 pounds. They're both described as white and 5 foot 6 inches tall. They were last seen driving a 1997 red Jeep Cherokee, similar to this one. The license plate number is on your screen. That number is JFD 8418. If you have any information, call police. And check out this intense fire out in Corpus Christi. This 18-wheeler carrying oil crashed into another big rig and exploded on Thursday. A bridge had to be shut down, causing major traffic headaches for drivers. No one got hurt in the fiery wreck. Now let's get another look at our forecast with Erica Lopez.
Hey there, good morning, Yvonne. Cool and comfortable start to our Friday and the weekend. Things are going to change beginning from here as we enter into the next 72 hours or so. Here's a look at outside for now. Temperatures are in the 40s and also some 50s. Coolest spots in the Hill Country, 48 in Llano this morning. Hour by hour, this is what we're talking about for Friday. We will increase close to 80 degrees on the warm side. Expect clear skies for the most part today. Still some warmer temperatures. It's this weekend where things will get breezy. And then a system is approaching our area, so that's going to bring us some rain as we enter into overnight Sunday into Monday. I'm going to chat about that in your full forecast, let you know what we can expect into the next 72 hours. Yvonne, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. Happening a few hours from now, well, the Austin VA Outpatient Clinic will honor the oldest known veteran in the nation. The clinic will name its healing garden after this man here, 110-year-old Richard Overton. He served in the U.S. Army from 1942 to 1945 during World War II in the Pacific Theater. Now, his name will live on in Austin streets. Austin City Council is honorarily renaming Hamilton Avenue in East Austin Richard Overton Avenue. Overton has lived in the same home in that area since 1945. There will be a ceremony next month to celebrate his 111th birthday. Huge changes coming to ABIA. We're going to take a look at the new terminal opening this weekend and how it resembles the 1950s. Plus, a Texas family fighting to end cyberbullying in schools across the state, how they got inspired to create change for all students.